Welcome everybody into Map It Out. We're on episode 6, and we've got playoff edition as well for girls basketball. A lot to talk about locally. Great bi-district round that we just saw, and they're still going. We got a lot of teams that are still in it. Alan, we'll start with you. You were at the probably a pretty hyped up. I saw it hyped up online. Wiley and Paladuro, probably one of the best on paper going in, one of the best bi-district matchups going in. You see PD win it the way they did, looked really good. What did you see? You were on the call on that game.
Yeah, it was a really fun time out there. I mean, first and foremost, props to the folks, the admin with Friendship Memorial High School. Great hospitality, great folks. First time being there at that gym. Loved the court, loved just the atmosphere of what that was the other night. But yeah, when it came to the game itself, final score 46-35. Lady Dons moving on to the second round. I talked a little bit about it. It was truly, from what I had seen throughout the season, what I saw last night or saw the other night, was a good encapsulation of what Lady Dons basketball has been throughout this entire season. You had really great defense, and despite the deficit being what it was, there were a couple of moments where the deficit was a little bit bigger in PD's favor. Both teams had really, really great looks defensively. Both teams were able to get their opposition uncomfortable in a couple of different spots. I mean, when it comes to playoff basketball, there's going to be some level of physicality. There's going to be some level of bang plays, so on and so forth. But for the youth of PD, and not even so much, honestly, for lack of a better way of saying it, scrap the idea of how young this team is, because they certainly didn't play like it the other night. This team was super duper composed. Again, it starts at the top with AJ Johnson. He's had obviously a phenomenal career, and this season being no exception.
Got to 600 this year.
Yeah. When you have your top three scorers, we talked a little bit about after the game, for your top three scorers last night being Taylor Meander with 14 points, Zeneb Dang with 14 points, Addie Johnson with 10 points, and she hit a really big three in the second half, late in the second half, to kind of, almost in hindsight, really ice that game.
Mind you, like we were texting last night, that's freshman, sophomore.
Yes.
And what we said last week, our take is aging like fine wine.
Yeah.
It's incredible. They have a dynasty going right now. You're already playing like that because what was it, 14-10, I think is what they scored.
Yeah, 14-10.
And they each, that was the top three. They led the way. So, I mean, man, we pegged it last week. They proved our point. This is a dynasty right now. Young players ready, to lead, take the helm for sure, and lead the Lady Dons. And they started so great in the playoffs when you have a performance like that, especially as young as they are.
Absolutely. And Abilene Wiley, incredibly talented. I mean, undefeated in district, 29-5, I believe the record was going into last night. Great coaching at the top. Props to London Franklin, the junior guard for them. She was absolutely phenomenal, especially in that second half, to kind of help will her team back into striking distance. But again, Taylor Meander is, again, for those who may not have seen Taylor Meander throughout the season, best believe you have 3 more years at least. But
you got time.
Yeah, for sure. But the defensive prowess that she brings to the table as well. Like they have a lot of looks, being in zone looks, whether it's 1-2-2, 2 3s, 3 2s. More times than not, Meander's at the top of that zone because she's just so long, long arms, able to get into the passing lanes. Great job just kind of poking the ball out from behind from certain guards, and she's immediately out into transition. She's been absolutely phenomenal throughout this entire season. So, but the one thing that I loved, the one underrated part of what I saw last night was great defense from Desire Burks.
Okay.
She's been a really, really great defender throughout the season. I've talked about it a couple of different times when it comes to extra effort plays, hustle plays, those types of intangibles that you need to have from top to bottom, but at the very least you need to have at least one person that truly epitomizes that. We talked a little bit about it on the boys' side with Ben Kinney, of course. Props to them and Amarillo High for the co-district championship crown. Of course, we'll get into a little bit more of that here in just a little bit, but Desire Burke, you saw on full display what she's able to bring to the table, and it's been nothing but just great energy and great effort. But what I loved, though, and not so much this next part, but it kind of lends to the finish when it came to last night's game. She fouled out, kind of in the middle of the third quarter going into the fourth. And from there, talking about the depth with this team, a lot of big minutes from Danny Gilbreth. Only 3 points on the night, but the thing that I loved the most was that the energy really didn't. There wasn't a drop off when it came to intensity, when it came to energy, when it came to staying square, drawing charges, when it came to controlling the tempo. Her and Addie Johnson in the backcourt, like this, it was truly a next man up type of affair. And there have been moments of this throughout the entire season, but to have that in the bigger moments, the biggest moment of the season so far, and for her to shine through, even if it may not show in the box score, again, talking about the intangibles, talking about the necessary box that you need to have checked off, having someone to fill in that spot for a Desire Burks and still thrive in that role. Hats off to PD. It was a really, really fun game.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you got to see it, man.
Yeah, it was great.
They're playing great basketball again. The story of that team is just how young they are, but how talented they already are. And I mean, like you said, Taylor Meander, very talented, just a great overall player.
Yeah.
And Clint and I were talking last night, probably D1.
Yes.
I would say that's a safe bet. D1 for sure. Yeah. She's got the size, just the talent. I mean, already as a freshman, you're like, yeah, she's going D1.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And she's just, I mean, every bit of the hype is real for sure. Great player.
Yeah.
And like you said, great defensively as well. But you got a complete player like that on your team as a freshman, man, you are so excited, 100%.
And again, with the 3 years of Taylor Meander and Addie Johnson in the mix there for the Lady Dons, Zeneb Dang still has at least 2 years as well. Danny Gilbert, I believe, is a junior, has one more.
Well too.
Yeah. Yes, no, absolutely. Like again, this is a team and a program that we talked about it, just a couple of weeks ago. Regardless of how things are going to be looking, obviously, of course, we would want them to still continue and ultimately make that trip to San Antonio here in a couple of weeks. But they will be just fine with the pieces that they have in place and the great leadership that they have up top. So again, props to Lady Dons.
I know. I believe in their bracket they would meet Argyle at some point, which would be a true tough test. I'd love to see what they do in that game.
Yeah.
Argyle's a storied program for sure. I think several state championships under the belt, and our guy Coach Tabor was over there at one point, assistant coach. He won a state championship with them. But yeah, that's probably who's going to be their big challenge, I think, in the third round for PD. So we'll see. That'll be a good measuring stick. But I'm excited to see how they play in that game. So speaking of not same bracket but same district, Tascosa. Oh my goodness! See, here's the thing. Like when you have a team like that, you expect they're probably going to win in the first round, the by district. This is a team that we kind of think could make it to the state championship possibly as well. But 103 points? Oh my goodness. And I mean that speaks to the offense. Sometimes we've said, they go on like cold stretches offensively. Yeah. Didn't do it in that game.
Not even close.
Did not even do it in that game.
Even close.
I gotta say, I used to cover Abilene Cooper, and they've got a pretty good program over there. But when I saw it, I was like, man, Tascosa is ready to prove themselves and turn heads in that bi-district round, and they sure did it. 103 points. What a team they've got. I mean, we already knew they had a great team. They won district and everything, but man, that's just an even louder statement to put up that many points in a game where you get 8-minute quarters, and that's all you get, right? And so I mean, that's a loud statement to start the playoffs.
Basketball, famously people talk about all the time, one of the bigger cliches when it comes to basketball is that it's a game of runs. It's a game of momentum. The pendulum can swing any particular way in a 32-minute game. When you start said game on a 42-0 run,
goodness.
And again, nothing against the opposition. I mean, again, that district 4-5A, really fun district as well. Abilene Wiley in that district as well. Yep. They won the whole thing when it came to the regular season. But like, what can you do? Like, just as a fan, regardless of any team that you root for, any level that you're rooting for or have investment in. Yeah. If your team is down 42-0, what do you do? Truly.
You kind of just, at that point, you're kind of like, okay, you would probably say our season's over.
And mind you, this is all within the first 16 minutes of said 32-minute game.
So you're probably just like, okay, what can we do at that point? And even the pros do it too. What can we do to get a positive out of this game? Even though this means our season is over, what can we do to get a positive? What can we do to get maybe some of the younger kids or players that didn't play that much will probably play more next year, probably in the game? That's kind of what you do with that.
Right.
How can we yeah, give those kids experience against a team like that too. Like, hey, like you're gonna face competition like this, and our season's over this year, but let's try to like prepare for next year already.
Absolutely.
So it is a tough position to be in, but. Man, I mean, what were you going to do, honestly, against Tascosa? I mean, that team is just moving right now. Again, we've talked about it. They lost Emily Sims. Mm-hmm. That's a big piece, but it still at the same time doesn't seem like they've really lost a step, in my opinion. And I think when you get deeper into the playoffs and you face those bigger teams, yeah, sure, you'll probably see maybe it start to hurt them a little bit. Yeah. But, I mean, they've really just picked it up. It's been just fine. Nakia Fisher's been great. We've got to talk about Mackenzie Dickinson, man. She's a dimer for sure, but man, she will get you a tough bucket
Kenzie
as well.
Dixon, I love
always Devea Johnson, man.
For
but yeah,
sure.
Mackenzie,
yeah, whenever she brings the ball up the floor, and you have you kind of see it from afar when you need a bucket. Like more times than not, she will back somebody down, find somebody either cutting, find Alex Carter off into the wing.
Yep.
Easy dime, or I'm getting to the foul line. And in a lot of cases, probably an and one opportunity as well. So, again, you need that type of aggression when it comes really from this point on. It needs to be raised to, even if it's by 1%, like the sense of urgency needs to be raised. The tempo needs to be raised. And, I mean, so far, so great for Coach Tabor and company. They've answered the call. And I could not be more excited as to what this next round's going to hold for them. We've talked about it, and we will continue to talk about it. They have the talent to make that trip to the Alamo City here 100%. In a couple of weeks.
And talking about Emily Sims, I think Angel Green and Mackenzie Dickinson step up to fill that role 100%. Yeah. And then you see that their offense hasn't missed a step at all. 103 points.
Yes.
I mean, Devea Johnson still hoops for sure. Nakia Fisher. I think at that Coronado game that I last saw him, I mean, she had like every other bucket. I mean, just absolutely hooping out there. And when they're hitting from three too, it's like just say goodnight.
It's an all hands on deck type of affair. I think just about anybody is capable of shooting with that team. Again, love to see Emerson Plummer out there, Analia Humphrey being out there as well. Angel Green in that point guard role with the types of facilitating that she's capable of doing as well. They check off the boxes. They truly do. So it's to see how they've played throughout the season, and you're thinking surely you would want to see them win, but for them to kick the door down and go absolutely ballistic again in the first 16 minutes of a 32-minute game.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can really do other than just say, hey, hats off to Coach Tabor, as if there haven't been enough hats off to him already for what a fantastic season he has had coaching this squad. It's great. It is such a great time to be a Lady Rebels fan.
No doubt. Shout out to Coach Tabor, man. He's been such a great coach. Like we said last week, kind of inherited a good team, but man, he's coming in and you know what? Who cares? I got a great team. I'm going to be a great coach, right? And that's exactly what he's done. It's been so fun to watch district championship in his first year, and they're going to keep it rolling, especially after that performance, 100%. Definitely. Looking at a few other scores, like I said last week, we've been new. Canyon.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
67-27 over Andrews. They're going to keep it going. They'll meet Decatur at some point, and that'll be their challenge. I said last week I think they can win state. I think they lost by 5 points to Decatur last year, so that'll be their challenge.
I believe
this year.
Decatur, last time I checked, still in the top spot in the state. I
believe so. Yeah, okay. Top in 4A, and Canyon's number 2. Yep. So man, and that'll be regional championship.
Oh yeah.
So you get 1 versus 2 in the regional championship, which is sad. You want to see that, in the state tournament or in the state championship. Yeah. But still gonna be a fun game regardless. Lost to him, I believe, like I said, 5 points last year. Great game. Yep. Canyon had a chance. This year, we'll see what happens. I think it's just going to be another slugfest. I'm confident Canyon and barring something crazy, Canyon and Decatur meet in the regional final, and that's going to be a huge game.
I think it's not outlandish to say winner of that game wins the state championship.
Wins state, 100%.
It's certainly not great.
Decatur won state last year, and so, I think it would have been the other way around if Canyon won. So, that's basically I think we've talked about it before, basically like WT softball and UT Tyler last year. We think that was the national championship. This and 4A right here, Canyon and Decatur, that's basically state championship. I think a lot of people in the state could agree with that.
Definitely.
Two so good teams. Style Brazil is their star player. She was out for a little bit. She had plates in her wrist for Decatur. But she's come back apparently is what I've seen. And so who knows if she's 100%, if she's playing good. But I mean, hey, to get her back when you thought maybe she was out for the season, that's big for Decatur. That's going to be a full strength matchup 100%. She's getting D1 offers already.
Well, you know, she is fantastic. Again, the stars are very much the stars when it comes to the basketball scene around here. You know what I mean? Best believe. Still taking Cambry Grazier and Ty Wright.
She's a bucket.
I'm still taking Teresa Moe. I'm still
crossover central.
And I'm rolling with the Lady Eagles. Best believe. But again, that will be certainly the test. And when it comes to those types of matchups as well, which we can see, as you said, going into the regional championship game, it's always an interesting thing. And you can even tie it back into Tascosa the other night, where you kind of have a feeling that all roads lead toward this matchup here. There could be those moments where you play down to your opponent. There could be moments where, even if it's the playoffs and it's a winner go home type of mentality, you're looking ahead, which unfortunately has happened quite a bit of times. So the one thing that I'm intrigued about the most, really from here on, is the mental sides of things, more so than just the physical, more so than just the skill set. Do you still have that type of, trying to find the right word, but just to still go about the routine as the routine? Like, you understand the task at hand being what it is, but you still play to your strengths, play to your style of basketball. It's going to be really interesting to see how they're able to attack the mental sides of things just as much as how they're able to attack the scheme and physically what they're able to do the rest of the way.
Yeah, and it's all mental, right? I mean, maybe not all mental, it's physical too, but I mean, definitely a lot of it, mental. Like, if we're at a certain point in the game, 2-point game, what do we got to do?
Yes.
How do we figure it out? And this team really looks like, I think, they've got it mentally and physically as well. Like they just look great across the board. I mean, it's a fun team to watch. And Coach said in the press conference yesterday, he was saying something. Like, Cambry Grazier, like, she could put up 30 if she wants, but she's unselfish as well. Finds all the players around her, like you said, Ty Wright, and also Teresa Mode, just players like that who are just as capable too. This entire team's capable.
Definitely.
So I mean, I think, and Addison Cunningham, she doesn't really get enough attention. I think as a
underrated
playmaker.
Yes,
it's a playmaker. Really.
No, that's legit an X factor for the Lady Eagles as well. Like, I love what she's able to bring to the table also, and back to the collective group and the task at hand being what it is. I talked about it the other week. That's a team on a mission. They know what it is that they need to get done, and if there's ever a coach that knows what needs to get done, it's certainly been someone like Coach Lombard. So again, hats off.
He knows what's going on
for sure. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no doubt. Kind of sticking with that district, Randall gets a by-district win, 36-19 over Midland Greenwood. Playing some good defense in that one, apparently. How about Perryton? They get a by-district after squeaking into the playoffs.
Yes.
They get a by-district win over Fort Stockton, 58-41.
Yeah,
good for them.
Man,
that's a great performance. Love seeing that.
For sure.
Moving down into 3A. 3A is kind of a class we were worried about, right? Dalhart falls short against Shallow Water, but Bushland gets a nice little 60-58 win over Littlefield, squeaking that one out. It's good for Bushland. But Canadian and Slayton. I don't know if you saw what happened in that game. I think so. Slayton, I think in regulation, I believe, or maybe it was Canadian. One of them hit a 3 and then one match to tie it, right?
Yeah.
So we go to OT.
Nice.
Then at the end of the game, Cavalier, man. Cavaliers everywhere, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
She hits a game-winning 3. I think Slayton had a buzzer beater last year and beat Canadian, but they get revenge this year and win 45-44 in OT, man. I got to tell you, the Cavalier family is special.
Something about those Cavaliers in athletics, man. Like, they know a thing or two about a thing or two.
Kylie Cavalier, I could tell, in the first half, I mean, she's definitely one of the leaders of that team, 100%. And they found a way to win for sure. And they got some athletes and some girls that can hit the 3 for sure. Man, it was a battle. It was a battle against Slayton. They really had to figure it out. But yeah, OT, game winner, and they're moving on, man. So I mean, it's, sadly I didn't get to see it. Some people got to see it, but I didn't. I wish I could have seen that game winner. But
it does kind of play into not play into, but those certain teams in life. You know what I mean? Death, taxes, Canadian basketball. really no other way to describe it. I've been here for over 10 years now, and whether it's been friends of mine who I went to school with at WT, whether it's having conversations in this broadcasting space. We've known about Canadian football. Canadian basketball deserves every bit of the praise and every bit of those hats being off to them for the program that they have had over these past couple of years as well.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I also, I got to talk about, not one of our teams usually in our viewing area, except, for Amarillo.
Yeah.
But I did get to see Idalou play. And they beat Childress 63-34. They had a girl, Presley Wall, I could tell, definitely leads that team.
Yeah.
Probably their number one. Man, they were hitting the 3-ball, too.
Yeah,
I think they hit. I only saw the second quarter. I saw the end of the first, and Presley Wall hit this high arcing off the backboard shot to beat the buzzer, even though they didn't really need it. They were already up like 17-2.
Right.
But great play. It was fun to watch. Just the energy that team had was really cool. And, in that second quarter, I want to say they hit 5 threes, maybe 6, and then that was just the second quarter. Like I said, who knows what they did in the first? Who knows what they had in the third and the fourth quarter? But I could tell that team's pretty close. And man, a lot of good play coming out of Idalou, and I think they're a solid team. We'll see what happens moving forward. But yeah, when you get to when you get to the playoffs, and you get to see some other teams play a little bit. It's really cool. It's kind of fun seeing the energy from some of those teams and what they do.
Yeah, I'm curious about it as well because you've been out there, you've seen some great games and great performances over these past couple of years. It's something about the smaller classifications that, like, again, we know about the basketball scene. We know how deep the basketball scene is here around the 806. But when it comes to those 3As, those 2As, those 1As, like, it's the entire town, regardless of where it is. They're going to have the full caravan.
Oh,
they're going to have the full the full bells and whistles as if it's a home game, but they're up the street at Canaan High School. You know what I mean? Like talk to me about that just from your perspective, kind of seeing those atmospheres.
So that's exactly what I did see. I mean, obviously they didn't fill out the FUB, right? Yeah. But I mean, they had the student section was on just one side of the stands, just going crazy. Yeah. Cheerleaders with them as well, and the guys dressed in like luau stuff, just student section stuff, right? And so it was great. That's a fun atmosphere to watch, something like that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, you get basically the whole town on either side out to those games and seeing that atmosphere. Like, you can tell they lean on that. They love that. That's what they have, in those small towns. Is their high school teams, whether girls basketball, football, whatever it might be, baseball. And you could tell that those communities showed out, and the student section was like, we're cheering our team, like, that's awesome. For sure. And so Idalou definitely showed out as far as the student section, and that's what you get in those small towns because you could show up to some big games. I like the point you make. And sometimes a lot of them are so busy, or I don't know, they've got more school activities over there or something. I don't know what it is. They just they're not showing up sometimes. But man, you can go to a small school game and it's like, am I at a 5A game? Am I at a 6A game? Because everybody's here.
It's almost standing room only, depending on the spot that you're at. You know what I mean? It's really fun. Like, even just seeing pictures and certain clips, and of course you guys do really, really great work as far as reporting and being out there for these games over these past couple of years. But like, I almost get chills just seeing it from afar, from the comfort of my home, seeing how crazy these atmospheres are, these gyms are on a Tuesday, Friday night basis. And now with the playoffs, with bigger atmospheres, bigger stakes, like it truly is an incredible thing to see.
I remember, actually, I think it was 2 years ago or it was years ago. I think it was Clarendon and Wellington, I believe. I think I went to Clarendon, and that atmosphere for the girls' game, because both of them, I think, were top 2 in the district.
Yeah.
It was filled out. It was loud. Anybody would score, and the student section was going crazy.
That's awesome.
And that's when Wellington made that run to the state tournament. I think it was a couple of years ago. A phenomenal run. That was Presley Kane. She was on that team, and then she came over to WT. But that was a fun team to watch, and they ended up winning that game. But man, you talk about small town crowds and how they gather in a gym. That was one of a prime example.
That's really cool.
And Wellington ended up winning the district that year, making that run deep in the playoffs to San Antonio. And just, you remember that because, like, the communities are there for you the entire time.
Definitely.
Because that's what you got in those small towns. You know what I mean? And like they're gonna show up for the games and support their team. And man, they supported Wellington that year. That was great. But
I love that.
Yes, at the FUB, I was loving the luau. I was loving the Idalou crowd. Man, they were having a good time. They loved it. That's a good team they got right there.
Yeah,
and it should be fun to see them.
Student sections are getting a little bit more creative with their like with the wear and all that. Like
I feel like it's just, I mean, not just now, maybe the last few years, but like it's gotten popular to be in the student section. Because I kind of remember being at Tascosa and being like, I don't remember us being like, oh, let's go crazy in the student section, let's do this and that. Nowadays, it's like you're coming to the student section. That's your activity for the night.
I kid you not. Brief shout out to the Amarillo High student section last Friday. That Amarillo PD game again. Really, really fun game. Great atmosphere.
Get that to a second for sure.
I saw a couple of guys in blazers, like shorts, whatever. I'm seeing the ESPN logo on a table. I was laughing from I could not have had more fun, even just from the opposite end of the floor, seeing a student section get into it the way that it is. I mean, it's crosstown rivals, two top teams in the district at the time. But for all of the, like, I saw the ESPN booth. I'm seeing guys dressed up in full-on, like, throwback jerseys. I'm seeing guys wear breakfast gear. Like, I'm seeing someone with a sunny side up egg suit. I'm seeing someone dressed up as bacon. I'm seeing the most wild stuff that I promise you I have never seen from a student section, high school or college.
Yeah.
So like props to Amarillo High. Shout out
all
to
random costumes.
Yeah,
right?
it's like it was Halloween in February.
Oh, okay.
Like it was crazy to think about. You know what I mean? But it was a great time. And again, back to just
Valentine's Day was Halloween.
Yes, no, for sure. Like it was really awesome, and just kind of like to that point, like playing in high school, we didn't really have those moments of being out there with the student section because we're out there, on the floor. But to kind of see that there, it kind of takes me back a little bit. I'll say that.
I remember a kid at BYU going viral a few weeks ago at one of their basketball games for wearing a bacon costume. They're kind of like, this kid's in bacon. I'm like, dude, just come to a high school game. You will see any costume from left to right. Like you'll see some stuff at a high school game.
I promise you,
that bacon costume did not even faze me at all. At BYU. I was like, whatever, dude. Just come down to your local high school and see what they're doing at those crowds for sure.
Absolutely.
But moving on a little bit here, Wellington. We did mention Wellington. They beat Stratford 63-31 in their by district. Panhandle, nothing new.
Yep.
We expect them to win state. 69-35 over Spearman. We just talked about Riley Segura going to ACU, but I memean that entire team is just so fun to watch. They're phenomenal. I've seen them a few times, and I think they get over the hump this year. Kind of fell apart, or not fell apart, but just ran into a few good teams last year, and in the semifinal. Forgetting them right now, but I think they ended up winning state. Yeah. But yeah, this year I think is Panhandle's year. I think they got it. Just looking like a great team. Groover 69-37 over Wheeler. Girls looking good. Boys, talk about them in a second. Boys looking great as well, looking really good. Clarendon 52-41 over Vega. And then we got Farwell, who made a state championship run last year, 60-13 over Floyd Ada. Then looking at some 1A, what do we got here? Miami 34-33 over Shamrock. Claude, they win. Happy Falls. Valley wins 53-32. That's a fun team too. I remember that in that same year, Wellington Valley made a run to the state championship game in 1A.
Yeah,
that's a fun team to watch.
Yeah, no, Valley's nice.
It was
nice.
Wellington, and it was also Canyon, and then it was Valley. Those were the three girls teams that we had 2 years ago. That was really fun to watch for sure. And then we got Groom. They win. White Deer, Text Line. Both boys and girls are always usually good, but our best girls 1A team always Nazareth, and they win 74-22 over Wildorado. I think they can do it again. I don't think you can ever count them out. I think you got to watch them all the way. Like they are guaranteed. I think a state semifinal appearance. They're that good, and I mean they won state last year, so why can't they do it again this year? That's just Naz for you.
Death, taxes. Nazareth
girls basketball, exactly. I was going to say, we can do so much in girls basketball about death, taxes, and this. Naz, 100%. So good. And then we got a tap score as well. San Jacinto Falls to First Baptist Academy 32-28. So great first round, great by-district round. A lot of our teams that we expected to move on doing great. Some of those teams in there that we didn't really expect, we didn't really know what was going on. Win the by-district. It's always great to just get, one gold ball.
Yep.
Some of those teams, they don't expect much. You get a gold ball. That's awesome. You feel great as a team. Some of those teams, obviously, you want 6 gold balls, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see, but I'm excited for our teams moving forward. Got to talk about the boys too. So mentioned Groover. Let me set the scene for you here, Alan. Friday night, you're playing against your rival, right, on the road, and also you're going for the outright district title.
Yeah.
And one of your most important alumni is in the building watching the game, Jalen Conyers.
Oh, yeah.
Playing for the Dolphins right now.
Yeah, shout out to Jalen.
You would think that makes you nervous, right? Nah, not at all. Groover
regular
handling business.
Yeah, it's regular
they
night.
won by like 20 or something like that.
Jalen in the crowd was like, oh, yeah, that's just
Groover.
Yeah.
That's just Groover, right?
Yeah, that's just another Groover alum, if anything.
Clint said something about it being the Conyers Bowl because it's West Texas and it's Groover. He played both sides, but he was definitely rooting on Groover. But, plenty of guys we know on that team. Mason Langford, obviously. Briggs Satterfield.
Nice.
Plenty of great guys on the team. They were ranked number 3, I think, in 2A, and I hadn't had a chance to see him yet, and I was kind of like, okay, let's go check him out and see him win the district title. I mean, my goodness, they look great. They do. It's not just football. I mean, you talk about a team. We've talked a lot about athletes going from football to basketball to baseball. That is Groover for you. They look like basketball players. Like, I mean, they're not just like football guys out down in the post. Like, all right, figure it out. We can score here.
No, they're out
running.
Dude.
They're
shooting the lights
threes.
Out. Yeah,
I mean, they're shooting inside. I mean, I can't remember if I saw a couple of dunks, but I mean, like that. I mean, my goodness,
they can do it. I've seen them from afar. Again, the atmosphere over there. Just seeing the clips and pictures of it, absolutely phenomenal. I know. Talking with some folks when it came to football season, and there's always kind of been those talks of a little bit of a slow start from the end of the fall going into the wintertime because of how many guys were coming in from football, coming into basketball, and not a single beat is missed. From the second they're on the floor, they're boat racing. They're boat racing, putting up 60 a night, 70 a night, beating teams by 20, 30, 40 almost. Like, again, if we're talking about, the theme of just death, taxes, and teams making deep runs, Groover's always going to be in that conversation as well. So props to them. And
excuse me, it's Trenton Aranda, Trenton Aranda had a great third quarter is who it was. That's who I was going for. Yeah, man, it's just like it was like first quarter, like second quarter, it was like Mason Langford just doing his thing.
Yeah.
Then third quarter, they're like, let's try something different. He was killing it. He was killing it in the third quarter. Like I want to say maybe he could have had 12 or 13 points in that quarter, but man, I was just like, man, this team is so good. And I was talking to a few people, they were like, I think we can win state. I was like, hey, I'll take that. I'd love to see Groover win a basketball state championship.
Yeah, like there are teams that, really great teams that can come out with tough wins, grinded out types of wins. Every now and then you may have the occasional 10-point, 15-point win, maybe even 20, depending on the matchup. But again, if you're talking about a team that has every bit of capability to average boat racing opponents,
right?
Great, for sure.
So we haven't talked a lot about Amarillo High. Like, we've talked about the girls, but we haven't talked about the boys much on this podcast really much yet. But they deserve it 100%. They deserve to be getting a shout out right now, hanging on and finding a way to get a share of the district title, playing against PD that Friday night, thinking, oh man, PD's on a heater right now.
Yeah.
And they still are. They're a great team.
Yeah.
But man, you talk about getting a clutch win when maybe everybody thought PD was going to take that game. Amarillo High comes out and they just hoop, man. Coach Pillion, so proud of his guys for sure. Win a huge game, get that share of the district title when maybe you thought it was out of your grasp. But you still figure out a way. What a win! And you were at that one too, right?
I was. I mean, again, the 3-5A district season has been one that I'll certainly remember for a while now. This 2026 district run. when you had great teams like Tascosa, when you had guys like Ladarius Gobble, who's capable of putting up a 40-piece, which we did see against PD. When you see a team like PD that's capable of putting up 80+ against a top opponent like Tascosa, you saw that on full display. When you saw a team, or when you see a team like Amarillo High, who's had tremendous talent throughout the years, but going into this season, I think it's safe to say that there weren't too many folks that had this in their bingo card for them to, have a share of the district championship, have a really, really solid shot to make a run when it comes to these playoffs here. I don't know how many people outside of the families and the fan base that is Amarillo High really had that there in the cards, but anytime Jax Richards has the ball, you're in a good position to make something happen. For him to make the steps from getting the minutes he had as a sophomore to being the guy as a junior. And it's one thing for someone like him to I would imagine if I was Jax Richards, I would certainly love nothing more than to play hero ball. I'm making something shake, whether I'm putting 20 or not. We'll see what happens. But when you have the Tate Babins of the world, when you have the Hud Schaefers of the world, when you have the Patch Pars of the world that are able to put up great defense, that can hit their open shots, that can every bit of what you need for a team like that. Absolutely stellar.
I'm glad you mentioned that because Corin came back and she had several highlights of Patch Par, and like he was hooping that night, had several points. We said something along the lines of like, "Man, he's on par tonight, man." Like,
and I
he's
love
on
that.
par,
and
man.
I
He
love
was
that.
hitting shots.
Yes, yes. Like the way that he was so comfortable hitting those shots as well against PD. Like, it's one thing to have a home game, a district home game against a rival, but there was almost a level of, okay, we were. And I'm sure that they were, considering that they lost the first match to PD. They had that date circled. They said, hey, not only is this a big game in route to a district championship or a share of the district championship, we need to right the ship for what that game was against PD at the PD Activity Center. Again, props to the Dons as well, but I could imagine that sense of urgency, and you saw that sense of urgency from the very get-go. They were suffocating on defense, the cutout second chance opportunities. You had the Ty Hornickers of the world make some impacts as well. Again, that was a team that they understood what the task at hand was, and that's really been them this entire season. Like they're not trying to put up all these crazy clips and crazy highlights and things that much like a lot of the teams around the area, but that's a team that execution, and they did that. They did that on full display.
No doubt about it. And it's going to be fun to see what everybody does as far as the boys in the playoffs as well. You got to think about West Plains, who went undefeated in district, and 4A, see what they do on the by-district round. Excited to see how far they go. But talking a lot about the girls right now, obviously, just because by-district, they're already in playoffs, and then we've got to wait about a week for the boys. But, man, so much going on. A lot of exciting hoops right now. So much to talk about in the hoops world as far as local goes. I can't wait to see what happens. I think we still are on track. I think we could have 3 girls state champions. As far as the boys, not sure. We'll see. I think that's more of a wild card. See what happens in the playoff bracket. Maybe a semifinal team, definitely a regional championship team, hopefully. But man, so much to look forward to moving forward as far as basketball goes. But we got some NBA we got to talk about, right?
Yes, we do.
We got All-Star Weekend. Little fines dealt out as far as tanking goes. Which we got to talk about that as well. Plenty to get into, man. Basketball is really at the helm right now, so we'll just move up to college and pros really in this next block. But let's do it. Yeah, we excited for the playoffs. Let's keep it going. Congrats to all the girls teams, the boys teams as well. Looking forward to next week.
Yeah, and just overall, just shout out to the 806, man.
Yeah,
just shout out to
this
Panhandle basketball
so much
team.
Better at everything.
When people think of the state of Texas, it's easy just going to football, easy going to volleyball. The talent that's been through this region specifically throughout these past couple of years, this year being no exception. I couldn't agree with you more. There's going to be quite a bit of teams on the girl sides of things that are able to make runs. I have nothing but faith and trust in Tascosa, Amarillo, and PD making the runs that they need to make when it comes to this playoff season as well. So the one thing that I will guarantee is that I will be on the edge of my seat each and every week, each and every matchup from here until the middle of March.
Yep. Rooting on you guys, man. Love us some Panhandle.
Yeah, man.
Love us the 806. Can't wait to see what happens going forward. But after this break, we'll be talking national. NBA,
I got a bone to pick.
College, yeah, he does.
I got a bone to pick.
I got some bones to pick too, somewhere in there, probably. Fines with tanking and everything. We'll get it figured out. We'll get it mapped out, right? You know what I mean?
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, we're back on Map It Out, episode 6. Got a lot to talk about. NBA All-Star Weekend. Yep. A lot of people talk about how it's lost, a lot of luster. It's lost kind of its oomph, lately, especially in the dunk contest.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll get it out of the way. Jace Richardson somehow doesn't have a concussion. Doesn't have a concussion.
My pick to win the dunk contest just last week,
flat on his head.
When that happened, my immediate first thoughts, holy smokes, I hope he's all right. The second that he did get up and he was all right, I proceeded to turn the TV off.
Yep.
Like what can you do in that moment? And that goes into, again, a lot of the bones we have to pick,
especially
with Adam Silver.
When you're like, I picked that guy. What are we doing right now, man?
You're the son of one of the greatest dunk contest winners in the past 25 years. And look, that is quite a bar to try and meet or even attempt to meet. So props to attempting to be out there. But unfortunately, it could not have gone any worse for Jace.
It used to be so fun. It used to be so flashy. Yeah. It used to be just the best event, even better in the game.
Folks were jumping over cars.
Yes.
Folks were jumping over cars.
And I saw something where Shaq, when they had like the camcorder phone or whatever. I saw something like Shaq went from to this to like whatever he was doing this week, and he's just kind of like
straight deadpan. Straight deadpan face,
dude. Like, and that's just that's a perfect way to describe it. It's like, we went from that to this. Like, there was no objects. There was no, there
was a lot of dancing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Boy, there was a lot of props to the winner.
They hit a dunk that if you put it on 8 feet for me at the local YMCA, they hit a dunk that, I could hit just in my backyard or at the local YMCA, like I said, and they were walking off like, yeah, look at me, bro. Like, I'm like, okay, watch me. I can throw it off the backboard and just be like, boom, 8 feet. Like, that's no problem for me. So, but they're out here. There was so much like, hey, are y'all filming TikToks or are we doing a dunk contest? You know what I mean? And it's just, I hate to hate on those guys. Just because, they put a lot of work in. They're athletes. They still have to go out there, take the stage for the dunk contest, which they're going to be judged.
Yeah.
So many critics are going to say so much, just like us right now. So I still feel for them, and they're just trying to keep it alive. And obviously, they were going to get judged quite a bit, but still, it's just like, dude, the dunk contest used to be just so awesome. Like, you talk about the Blake Griffins of the world. Talk about Dwight Howard. And I said Dwight Howard last week. Gerald Green was the one that had the cupcake.
Yeah, the blow out the candle.
The blow out the candle. One of the most underrated dunks of all time.
That was really, really
good. It used to be like that, right? Vince Carter. All of that. But now it's gotten to the point where, like, you hope Mac McClung's in the dunk contest. But if he's not, you got what you got this last weekend.
Which, by the way, off of the video that he posted on social media afterwards.
Oh, I saw that too.
Unfortunately, the unofficial winner of the 2026 dunk contest.
Yeah, undisputed. Sorry. He won without even showing up. Yeah, man. He was just in a YMCA gym. I guess. No, I'm just kidding.
He looked good. He looked good. Like
I was
the festivities of it. Like the festivities of it was just. And here's what I'm gonna ask. And pardon me if it's dipping into the national well, but I've heard a lot of, let's just say, interesting takes from said national well. Are we blaming the lack of stars in the dunk contest? And by that, I mean, are we still blaming LeBron James 16 years later? Because I went back to that dunk contest, and he's out there in the crowd talking with Cheryl Miller. He said, hey, I am, and I quote, preliminarily putting my name in to the 2010 dunk contest in Dallas, Texas, and the whole TNT crew goes crazy. I'm sitting here as a child going crazy. I'm not even LeBron James fan, even to this day, but again, the same dunk contest that saw let's just say two of the 3 to 5 greatest players to ever play the game do it, one of which was a rookie.
Yep.
The other in Jordan was probably no older than maybe 21, 22 years old. Like, young guys nowhere near the type of stars that they ended up becoming. So I'm not the biggest proponent of we need to have all of the big names. If you're creative, we didn't think of Zach LaVine being Zach LaVine back in 2015, 2016. Same with Aaron Gordon. Same thing even with en route to a Rookie of the Year campaign. Not a lot of people talked about that with Blake Griffin even back in 2011.
Yeah.
But if these are the quality of dunks that we're getting, I would have a little bit more of a smile on my face if instead of Kashad Johnson, it was Anthony Edwards. If instead it was Zion Williamson or somebody, or at least in a past life, Zion Williamson. I think that ship is more than sailed for him.
Yeah.
But
and I think, like, you know, that's a good point. Like, I was willing to give it a chance, right?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's tune in and see what we got, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's gonna happen? Not a whole lot.
Yep.
You know what I mean? No, like you said, no cars,
Nope.
no ladders, no hoverboards.
We're not jumping over folks. Like, I went back to the 2020 dunk contest, the one that, again, Aaron Gordon should have won instead of the 2016 one. You dunked over Taco Fall, who, by the way, put up Wilt Chamberlain numbers in the Ruffles Celebrity Game.
Celebrity Game All-Star.
First problem that I have, why in the heck is a professional basketball athlete, playing in the Celebrity Game?
Two of them, right? Jeremy Lin and him.
Yeah, Jared McCann was in the Celebrity three-point contest, getting stuff. I don't.
What is that about? Like, because he's a TikTok star? Like, what, I mean,
you know what? If I may, that could lead right into our Map It Out question of the week.
Let's do it.
How do we fix the NBA All-Star festivities? Maybe not so much the game, because I do believe, like, getting to the game briefly, there were a lot of great moments to the game.
Games weren't bad.
Yeah, the games
weren't
were bad.
terrible.
The championship game,
still not really competitive.
Yeah,
but not bad.
Like the guys were trying. The guys were trying a bit more.
Obviously, you know where I'm going first. Fix the dunk contest.
Yeah.
Because that's what everyone tuned in to watch. I mean, you could have been a casual fan. You're watching the dunk contest. You probably weren't watching the game. Maybe not the three-point contest. The skills competition became a shell of itself, obviously.
Yeah.
You're tuning in to watch the dunk contest. If you hurt and take away probably the biggest thing that was going for you for All-Star Weekend, I mean, it's gonna fall apart. You have to fix the dunk contest. I always would watch that. I mean, like, you know, I love the rest of it. I like All-Star games. I mean, I like three-point contests. I like seeing who's going to do what.
Yeah.
But a lot of people watch the dunk contest. People love dunking. There's nothing more to it. You know what I mean? You have to fix it. You got to get back to the Vince Carters. You got to get back to the Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon of the dunk contest. You have to do it because that brings your ratings. That brings your money. People want to see that. And if you lose that, you're lost. Because, I mean, you know, you can say like, oh, we got so-and-so playing for World. Oh, we got so-and-so playing for the Rising Stars. Doesn't matter. People aren't really still interested in seeing a pickup basketball game that's kind of just like, oh, it could be a dunk contest in itself if you wanted to, because you're kind of just like, oh, here you go, like, try that, do that, shoot from half court, you know, like some of it's still entertaining just because they're the best players in the world and they're doing some fun stuff. But the dunk contest, really, that's my answer. Fix the dunk contest and then go from there, because you've got to have maybe not stars, but you got to have at least the Mac McClungs of the world in the dunk contest.
And you know what? From the whole weekend of it, which was very clear, we're shifting towards the influencers as the celebrities. We're shifting towards the streamers as the celebrities. And, I mean, that's just how entertainment has been going into over these past couple of years. But when it comes to the dunk contest, I'm sure not a whole lot of people know of a Jordan Kilgannon. Pull up his highlights on YouTube. You would want to see him in the dunk contest coming up next year in Phoenix. I remember a little bit of a deep cut. I remember seeing someone like Jacob Tucker out of college, basically the white Spudweb from whenever I remembered seeing him in the college dunk contest.
Yeah,
which leads into one of the solutions with it. They have the college all-star festivities basically during Final Four weekend for D1 basketball. If we're talking about basketball, similar point like with the Pro Bowl, if we're encapsulating what basketball has been, what it is, and what it will be incorporate more levels of the game, incorporate the amateurs, incorporate the college players, incorporate more of the content creators, at least the good content creators. They're like actually good at basketball instead of coming up with skits every other clip. Not my spot, not my place to say, even though I just said it.
I got nothing to elaborate on there. I do, but I won't.
and you know, like the All-Star game itself, again, there were some fun moments. It's a shame that the Shays of the world, Giannis, like those guys not being healthy.
Yeah,
that's certainly a shame.
That's a shame too.
I can definitely go on another full soapbox, and I might do that going into next week. As far as what I saw from, unfortunately, you know, the two suspects that Kevin Durant proved to be accurate in Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic. Like, we can talk about it, but let's just put that to the side, because in hindsight, we knew what that situation was going to be with Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic in the All-Star game. Still great players, two of the best players.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, yes. I
love Luka. He's my coworker. Like,
and despite all the things and all the gripes with the All-Star game, even looking at the numbers, still putting up nearly 9 million viewers, which from what I saw, if what I saw was correct, more than doubled the number from the, almost tripled. Actually, no, it more than tripled the number for the Pro Bowl this past season.
Yep.
And it was up by maybe 3 or 4 million from the MLB All-Star game last summer.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's still a market for it. Again, props to NBC and props to the coverage of it all. I can understand wanting to move things a little bit up in time because there's a certain event that's been going on over the past couple of weeks up in Italy.
Yep.
I can understand why that would be top priority if you're a place like NBC. I get that. I get that wholeheartedly.
Still made time for it, though.
Yes. The folks still made time for it. The viewership still came in.
Mm-hmm.
If I could implement one thing, though, and this is probably one of my favorite things from this past weekend in basketball, period.
Yeah.
4 words that can fix NBA All-Star Weekend. King of the Hill. One-on-one tournaments, knowing that these players aren't going to want to do it. I can
hypothetical,
actually, no, forget it. I don't know why you don't want to do it. Honestly, give me Kyrie Irving versus Steph Curry. Give me Anthony Edwards versus Devin Booker. Give me Giannis versus Kevin Durant.
Like,
give me Jokic.
Guards.
Yes.
Like guards versus guards, and then like a forward/center versus center.
And even sometimes those can intertwine. Like, I would love to see Cooper Flagg versus Anthony Davis. I would love to see Con Knipple versus LaMelo Ball on some teammate on teammate type of stuff. Yep. Because my reference to this was probably the more entertaining thing that one can argue was put on this past weekend. Unrivaled has been mastered this one-on-one concept. Mm-hmm. Give me Chelsea Gray versus Paige Beckers. Give me Paige Beckers versus Arike Gumbawale. Give me Ray Burrell versus Kelsey Plum. Skylar Diggins versus Kelsey Plum. We are getting these matchups. We are getting these things. And look, you can be a casual all you want to and say, hey, nobody's watching it. I promise you are. Because if you're going to lie to me and say you'd rather watch Kashad Johnson hit the Dougie over the most basic dunk, and you don't want to watch actual hoops, with every form of respect, we aren't talking about the same things. We are not in the same business as basketball fans. Yeah. If you rather watch this versus the thing that we want to see in this, it's the best players go at it in a one-on-one setting. Yeah. I love it. We need that.
Like I just said, there's major drama. I've seen clips all over X about, just Paige Beckers doing this, and that, and on that Unrivaled.
We need more crash outs over All-Star festivities.
Right. And I mean, like, who wouldn't want to see, like, somebody, like, getting into it on the court one-on-one? I mean, create a little drama. Create a little drama like, hey, man, LeBron could beat so-and-so one-on-one. Con Knipple could beat so-and-so. Luka, he's hammering so-and-so in one-on-one. Let's see it.
In the world of dream matches, dream fights, like I saw something about Ronda Rousey coming out of retirement now for MMA.
Oh, yeah.
Like I saw that. Her and Gina Carano, that's going to be pretty fun.
Everybody reacting to that, man.
If you want to talk about must-see dream fights, dream matchups, lie to me and say you wouldn't pay top dollar to see Kevin Durant versus LeBron James. Lie to me right now and say that you don't want to see that in a one-on-one setting. Lie to me and say that you don't want to see Stephen Curry versus Kyrie Irving in a one-on-one setting.
At one point in time, people were debating LeBron and KD, just so you know.
And I mean, side note, if you ask me.
Obviously, it's LeBron. But Just
I
saying.
hear you.
Just saying. And this is coming from a guy who I'm a Thunder fan, so
Yes.
I have ties to KD, obviously.
Yeah.
But like KD has become obviously a shell of himself as well.
So that whole
we can talk about
alleged,
that later. We'll talk about that later.
Every bit of it is alleged. We can get to that at a later time.
But LeBron, obviously, LeBron wins that, I think.
In the one-on-one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. And
you got KD?
And this is why we need this to happen.
You got KD?
Kevin Durant has been better than LeBron James for at least the past 7 years.
Okay,
at the very least,
that's fair. Like right now, okay, I get it. I get that.
But like prime for prime, we're not going to see it unless it's someone's doing it with AI or if it's in 2K or whatever the case may be. But like the fact of it, matter of fact, we can even get into current the current crop of players. I would pay top dollar to see Cade Cunningham versus Shea.
Yeah,
I would. Yeah. I would pay top dollar to see. Cooper Flag versus LaMelo Ball. Cooper Flag versus whoever is in that mix. Heck, I would want to see Cooper Flag play King of the Hill against his entire draft class. Because there were folks saying...
Do you think Jokic is a good one-on-one player?
No. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like I think
that's
if it was
why
Jokic,
you need to see it. Because if Jokic is going one-on-one, it's like...
If it was Jokic versus Anthony Davis, Jokic is getting boat raced. And part of it is Jokic don't want to be there.
No.
Like, that's the thing. If we're talking about the lack of effort, if we're talking about the lack of intensity... I'm not going to sit here, and again, I've said it, I'm a huge Kevin Durant fan. If there's one thing that I will take away from what was said this past weekend, why would Luka Doncic want to be there? Why would Nikola Jokic want to be there? Yeah. And I think that also goes into, and this would be super duper brief, I think part of that also deals with us as consumers.
Yeah.
Because whether it's us coming up with our own opinions, or whether it was those two guys, 10, 15 years ago, who basically revolutionized the idea of sports debate, we're now in this landscape of, if you're not winning a championship, what good is the 82-game season? What good is your job if you're not the king of the hill at the end of the day? Yeah. So if I'm insert 20-year-old coming into the league and I'm trying to make a name for myself, you can be involved in the dunk contest. Yes, you can be involved in the three-point contest. Props to Dame as well for winning the three-point contest.
Which I got to make a point. Three-point contest, honestly, has trended up.
Yeah.
To me, it's great. I think they do a good job of the three-point contest. And you have stars.
And talking about the stars, Steph immediately entered in for next year.
Yes.
And I'm going to be sitting there front and center waiting for that to happen.
Dame did it on one leg.
Yes.
And we can't get stars in the dunk contest. I'm going back to the dunk contest. Sorry.
No, but I get it. I really do get it.
The three-point contest has gotten more entertaining. You got a problem when that's more entertaining than the dunk contest.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to say that, three-point contest isn't fun to watch, but the dunk contest has usually been easily king over all the skill stuff.
Yes.
And so when the three-point contest, I'm like, at the three-point contest, but at the dunk contest, I'm like, dude, what are we doing, right? What do we got right now? And it was just fun, and there was drama, and Dame was sitting there watching Devin Booker. Devin Booker had every chance to at least tie and win that thing, and he missed the last 3 or 4 shots, and you're like, oh, Devin, come on,
exactly.
man. There's drama. There wasn't that in the dunk contest.
Yeah.
And like but I like your point. Add one-on-one. Add 1v1, man, because that's even more drama, and we got more fun to All-Star Weekend. There's more ratings and more money, right?
1,000 trillion%. Like I'll get to the finish line here because we gotta get going here.
It's like UFC. Like you see it like, oh man, I cannot wait for this fight. It's like one-on-one in the NBA. Like, oh, I can't wait to see Luka go against, I don't know, Kevin Durant. Or somebody,
yes.
Floyd
and Manny Pacquiao happened at least a decade too late. It was still one of the most watched fights.
Everyone
still in history.
See it. Yeah.
Like again, we'll bring it back full circle here because we gotta get going. Mm-hmm. There are a multitude of things that have contributed to the All-Star Game being seen and talked about the way that it has been over these past couple of years. And I think one side of things that I truly don't believe is talked about enough is us as consumers, because I believe to a degree our priorities are off. Like, yes, you play to win the game. Shout out to Herm Edwards. You play to win championships. You do all of these things. But I don't think it should be to the derailment of still having fun and being seen as one of the top players in the world.
Yeah.
Being out there, it should be an honor to play in still what is called the greatest exhibition game in the world. I think the players have had that kind of seeped into their brains of, hey, if I'm not hoisting up some level of hardware at the end of the day, it's a failure. And it's a shame. It truly is.
No, yeah, 100%. But so, I mean, talking about the rest of the NBA season now, hopefully we can figure the All-Star weekend out, move on from that. Maybe they listen to us go 1v1, right?
I sure hope so.
Good
look, that the Unrivaled one-on-one was certainly
fun,
a top-tier advertisement for what may be a WNBA season. Still don't really know as of right now. But trust me, anytime I can see Paige Beckers on my screen getting absolute buckets, I will be there for versus hitting whatever dance moves were being hit.
They're moving in the right direction. Yes. When are the men going to do that? When is the NBA going to do that? That's really the bottom line, right?
And also part of it, they make too much money. Because if I'm sneezing into a $50 million check, I'm not wasting my time playing this one-on-one game. I got too much money to make, which is valid, but it's a shame.
Yeah, for sure. So, looking at the rest of the NBA season, I got to say, Alan, we had our tanking prayers answered, thank goodness. It wasn't much. It wasn't much, I'll admit still, but it was the Jazz. They got $500,000 fine, and the Pacers got a $100,000 fine as well, I believe. Like I said, not enough. Suspensions, start figuring something out to prevent tanking. They are talking a lot about like how to prevent tanking, like a tournament at the end of the season. Taking away the rookie draft, which missed me with that. That's
that would be too much.
But that's way too much. But I think, like I said, you got to have suspensions. You got to have there's got to be something. Like they mentioned the tournament at the end of the year, the bottom teams that don't make the playoffs, they play a tournament. It's kind of backwards. The winner gets the first pick, which is what it sounds like, which that's backwards to me. If you're winning that tournament, I think you slide.
You're good enough to win
the
something.
The losers gets number one, right? Yeah. So I don't know if I like that. But again, they got to move more forward towards fixing tanking and putting your best product out there. Because that also goes with All-Star Weekend. Also during the season, putting your best product out there and not sitting your players for nothing. Hopefully maybe you get the top 3 picks, which you might not at all.
If you're caught flagrantly tanking, and there should be the necessary measures need to be put into place in order to really come to a conclusion that you're flagrantly tanking. But if it's known that you're flagrantly tanking, you're eliminated from the lottery. Yeah. Like if you're the Utah Jazz, and if this keeps going, sorry, you're not even sniffing AJ DeBonta. Notable BYU, just great. Like you're not sniffing Cam Boozer or Darren Peterson. Like if this is what you're doing, figure it out with Keontae George, because I promise you, he is a good enough guard to get more minutes rather than just sitting out for more than 30 minutes at a time in the game.
Because imagine how much different it would look if everyone put their best team out there every night and played, and just the teams that absolutely legit lose. What does that look like? Because you got the tanking. Who knows how many more wins the Jazz could have if they put their best foot forward, right? Yeah. Who is actually the worst team in the NBA? Sometimes it's who knows? Because they're not putting their best foot forward.
Even though that answer is probably Sacramento. Probably.
That's fair enough.
Them are the Pelicans.
I would say it's probably still as easy to tell. That's kind of more who knows?
But again,
sitting guys.
But again, if it's so blatantly obvious, you have Laurie Markkinen on your team. You have Jaren Jackson on your team. You have guys like Keontae George, Isaiah Collier. Good enough guys.
That's an average team at least.
Yes.
At least. Not a lottery team, in my opinion.
And if you're sitting 3 of those 4 guys that I named, well, I guess in Jaren's case, he's not playing the rest of the season because I think he's undergoing surgery or something like that. But again, if that's your game plan, if that's your MO, Sam Hinkie messed the game up for everybody for a process that still hasn't truly been fulfilled. Think about that. Yeah. Y'all are not the trust the process Sixers, because yes, that equated to Ben Simmons, that equated to Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid's still there, is playing some really solid basketball. They haven't sniffed the conference finals since I was 5 years old.
Remember who they picked first in that trust the process era? Remember that draft where they had that first pick? Exactly.
Yes. I remember the Nerlens Noel of it all. I remember the Jalil Okafor of it all. Know? And it meant nothing.
You want to know who it was? Because I remember. Markelle Fultz. Now, see, you not knowing,
I'll
like,
shoot.
that's just me because I'm kind of like, for whatever reason, I remember that. But, like, that you said, it's kind of like.
I'll shoot 1% of bail. He certainly was nice in college. I did not think he was better than Jason Tatum, however. Yeah, I think that was what, 2016? Yeah. That was 2016 class?
I think so, yeah.
Like he wasn't better than Lonzo Ball, not better than Jason Tatum. That's just me. But Markelle Fultz was nice. It's a shame that things ended up being what it was, but the years leading to that moment and following that moment, y'all are not as savvy as what Sam Hinkie was able to do with the Sixers. Y'all can't replicate this. And for you to continue to try to do it, again, you should be eliminated from the lottery. Like, at best, your first pick, despite having a 10-72 record, 16th.
Yeah,
that should be where you're starting.
Yeah, I like it. Take them out of the lottery. I think that's a good answer to it. When I say suspensions, obviously that's probably what they want for their players, right? I mean more like coaches.
Yeah. Fines from them.
GM, get the GM out of there.
Yeah.
Like, owner, like, don't let them have a say in what's going on. Like, players play, coaches get suspended, coaches get in trouble, get fined, whatever it might be. Like, it just needs to be, I don't know, some sort of punishment.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, right? Anyway, so moving forward in the rest of the season, you could say the Thunder could win the NBA Finals, but, I mean, we got the Spurs. Mm-hmm. We got the Celtics who are playing out of their mind without Jason Tatum. Mm-hmm. And we got the Pistons as well. Give me one quick who you think maybe I'll say not name the Thunder. Who you think's got a chance?
I think the team that will represent the Eastern Conference and will have more than a fighter's chance to come home with a championship is the team led by, unfortunately, by default, this year's most valuable player, Cade Cunningham, and the Detroit Pistons. Like Wemby's out of contention, Luka's out of contention, Jokic, I'm pretty sure, is out of contention. If not, he's close to it, and I would like to think he's probably going to rest maybe 2 or 3 days. Yeah, as far as MVP is concerned.
Yeah.
And objectively, Detroit has made tremendous strides with the team that they've had, with the youth that they have. J.B. Bickerstaff, easily Coach of the Year, in my opinion. I believe it's Detroit's time. I really do believe, like, them staying healthy, them staying out of, or at least them staying away from the Charlotte Hornets the rest of the way. Mm-hmm. I think they'll be okay. I really do.
All right. I'll go with, in the Western Conference, I mean, you could say the Nuggets, obviously, because they got Jokic. Yep. Rockets. Maybe the Rockets do something.
I do like the
Rockets have a chance. They've got a good team.
A little bit of an investment, but I feel good.
Put it together. Yeah. They're still young, They got a lot to learn. But I mean, hey, and KD, obviously, the old head in that locker room. But hey, Rockets could make a run. That could be a thing.
And they still have a good coach. It's just a matter of putting those pieces together. And I'm not going to use the excuse of, hey, what would happen if Fred VanVleet was out there, because the Reed Shepherd minutes are very much important. The Amin Thompson minutes are even more important being at that spot. So I think they can figure it out.
In the Eastern, I'll even give you a little more of a wild card. Cavs.
See, I like the Cavs.
If we get the best version of Donovan Mitchell, Mobley, Harden, who knows? I mean, who knows, right?
I will hold myself accountable really quick here. Plenty of times, I've said this before in a past life, in a past show of mine that I may or may not have hosted. I've said my thing or two about James Harden post Houston.
Yeah.
And honestly, I could not be more wrong as far as the lack of investment that he has, or the lack of talent that he has. James Harden, when he's out there and he's listed as a point guard, is one of the 3 best point guards that we have in today's game. Like, Shea is great.
Cade's now still balling.
Yeah, like, he's still getting you a smooth 20 and 10. There's some nights he can get you a smooth 30 and 10. Mm-hmm. There's a night that he can get you a 40 and 10. Like, that's still in the cards for him, even in his mid to late 30s.
Yeah.
That with Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt, like, there were some talks about I'm not sure if it was a lateral move, or like some people that weren't as receptive to the Darius Garland trade, and I think Darius Garland could be a great player. Clippers they've played some solid enough basketball as well, led by who probably could have been, maybe should have been also MVP, and Kawhi Leonard. I think that they can play it together, but for the win now idea that the Cavs are firmly under, if they're staying healthy, pencil in that Eastern Conference Finals between the Cavs and the Pistons. Whoever wins that could arguably waltz into an NBA championship.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, all right, man. Talked plenty about the NBA. We got some picks to make as well. And we got a great question today as well. And so let's get into it. We'll get into our picks and question segment here in a second. Take a quick break. Stay with us. Map it out. All right, welcome back to Map It Out. We got some picks to make. Man, college basketball, always crazy. We're getting a little preview of March Madness, 100%. Big 12's fun. Big 10's fun. ACC's always fun. Always great teams across the board. But this Saturday, this weekend, we got the top 4 teams playing each other, which is like, you rarely get that. And that is so fun. It's starting with Michigan and your squad, your guys, number 3, Duke. And so I mean I believe it's like it's a challenge or a whatever it's called.
The Big Ten ACC challenge.
Is that what it is? That's a challenge. Okay, gotcha. Because I saw a name to it or something, but I was like, okay, I was wondering why they were playing each other. But yeah, that's man.
And I love those initiatives as well. Like they've had ACC, SEC challenges. They've had Big Ten ACC challenges. I forget the games that the Big 12 are under, but I love that part of the non-conference schedule because it really does add the intrigue for the fans that are, I'll pick up basketball. Like usually the casual college basketball fan kind of starts to pick it up around this weekend, and you have, again, great matchups to kind of bring the casual fans in because will be a heck of a preview for what we're going to see coming up next week for the start of the tournament. But love the initiatives that they have here. I will say, to kind of lead into this matchup here with Michigan and Duke, I am not too familiar with the Michigan Wolverines this season. And while it is so easy for me to say, that Cam Boozer's going to be Cam Boozer, and Duke's going to have a hard-fought game but a close win, I truly have no idea what to expect out of Michigan this Saturday.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Sure. No, I get it. And, I mean, it's going to be – I think it'll be a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
Obviously, what you get out of Duke. A lot of young guys. Sometimes you get guys that are one and done and young squad. Obviously, Boozer, he's definitely going on the draft. But Michigan looks like a pretty put together team, in my opinion. I think I saw him play Ohio State about a week ago is what it was. And they look solid. Given Ohio State's not, one of the top basketball teams in the country, but they just look like they move it well. They're close. This definitely, I think, I agree. I think they are the number 1 team right now. Just they play together as a team.
Yeah.
There's probably more talent on other squads, and week in, week out too. It's just like, somebody loses to somebody, but then that team also beats somebody. I mean, you saw Kansas beat Arizona, and then they got absolutely smacked by Iowa State, and that's just how it goes in basketball.
Yeah, like I can talk about him now because he's now playing for that powder blue school in Carolina. But Elliot Cadeau is a really good player. Like I can appreciate some Elliot Cadeau hoops. But that's going to be a really fun backcourt matchup with him versus the Caden Boozers of the world.
Yeah.
Caleb Foster, really great returner for Duke as well. So it will be a very close game. I am curious as to what the line is for this matchup, though.
Yeah, we got 2.5 Michigan. And it is the Edwards Jones Capital Showcase. That's what
Capital Showcase.
That was what I was looking for. Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, because it's going to be in Washington D.C.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
it's plus 136 Duke, and I got to tell you, on the money line, I could probably take that, but I still think that would just be kind of a stab at it. I would still take Michigan just because I think, Duke's got that loss to Texas Tech. Yep. I think they are capable of kind of just maybe not falling apart, but definitely having one of those games.
It's falling apart. It is. Like they have the talent to smoke anybody for 38 and a half minutes.
Yeah.
Those last couple of seconds, and my only drawback or my only thing that I don't like when it comes to Duke basketball is that in some of those moments, whether it was with Texas Tech or whether it was with North Carolina a couple of weeks ago, there's almost a level of, I get one to roll the ball out and let the stars be the stars, let Cam Boozer make a play, let something happen, get to the foul line, whatever. It would also help if you actually draw up a play.
Yeah.
It would actually help if you drew a play for your top 3-point shooter and Isaiah Evans, or maybe even throw him as a decoy to have a good look for the Caleb Fosters of the world, the Nick Kamenias of the world, so on and so forth. So I would imagine that that thing is addressed and a little bit understood in the event that this is a close game. I think if Michigan wins this game, it's definitely gonna be within that 3-4 point range. Similar thing with Duke. I think it's gonna be a free throw shooting duel towards the last couple of minutes of the game, and at that point, it really is just a matter of your discipline and your fundamentals. Whoever has more of that's going to come out with the win. I would like to think that's the Duke Blue Devils, but Michigan's number one for a reason.
Yep, exactly. I like that. Michigan's number one for a reason. I'm going to take Michigan 2.5. I could take that 2.5. I think I could see them pulling it out by 3.
I like it.
So I'll go with that. But still going to be a fun matchup. Can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
Also, like I said, top 4 teams playing each other. You also have Houston and Arizona.
Yes, sir.
Which is going to be another great matchup. A slugfest, 100%. And, both teams kind of struggling down the stretch. Houston just lost to Iowa State.
Yes.
And Arizona just had a rough week, losing to Kansas and Texas Tech at home, mind you.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a big game for both teams. It's like, this is a chance to for a huge bounce back to kind of keep your standing in the ranking for one thing and beat both, both teams very capable, beat a capable team and kind of stay in the top 5 range with a win here. To me, it's hard to take. It's so hard to see Arizona losing 3 straight. But when you've come off of this stretch and you're going on the road against number 2 Houston, I'll take the 3 straight. Give me Houston in this one, 100%.
I agree with you. It's something about these past couple of games for Arizona, which tough opponents. I mean, it was every bit of a toss up as they ended up becoming. But I can't say that I cannot call myself a believer in the Arizona Wildcats. Like not just for this matchup, but
kind of showing their true colors. Maybe.
Well, I mean, if they
also Koa Pete got hurt.
That's always going to be a thing as well. I mean, and to that point, best wishes to JT Toppin.
JT
like we were
Toppin
talking a little bit about before he got started. We were going crazy in Lubbock seeing the game, and then in that same breath, oh no, this is bad. Like this is very, very, very bad. For the Red Raiders. But I mean, of course, Coach Mack, he knows what he's doing. He can definitely. We've talked about the next man up mentality throughout these past couple of weeks. They can definitely excel throughout the rest of this Big 12 schedule. Sure. But for Koa Pete not being out there, it is very, very tough to make something happen if you're down your best player. So I might go as far as to say there is potential for the Wildcats to get boat raced in this game.
Ooh, okay.
Like I like seeing and being an admirer of Kelvin Sampson hoops.
Yep.
Very few are
connected with Austin Johnson, by the way.
Yes.
Who told me recently that he just went down there a couple of weeks and
had
fun of it. So that was pretty cool.
It's like I really do love what Houston's been able to do throughout these past couple of years, and they are still firmly one of the 3 more physical teams in the entire country. So you're going to see a lot of that, and I just, not for me to call out their toughness, but I just don't think that if Arizona gets punched in the mouth that they're going to get back up because of how these past couple of games have been.
Yeah.
So I can see a double-digit loss for Arizona.
What line would you think you would say? Because there's not a line yet, or there's not a spread yet. So what?
Give me. I would imagine there's still going to be some respect for Arizona, but I would say Houston minus maybe 5.5. Okay, 5.5, 6.5.
That's actually exactly what I had in my mind was 5.5. All right, I like it. Yeah,
it's not bad. Definitely not a bad line.
Definitely, for sure. All right, let's get into our questions. So we got a pretty good one today. Give me 3 teams, 3 of your favorite teams. Would you rather see the team win a championship like coming up next year, or in the current season, but they can't win it again, or are you just clinging to hope? You're gonna keep it the same way, hoping that they win however many championships in the future. What are you doing?
I would
3 teams also.
I'm gonna flip flop a bit here because in the current college football landscape, Texas A&M has the talent Like, they have the names. Like, I mean, for crying out loud, they were undefeated up until the last couple of weeks of the season. And trust me, I'm not going to go back to that headspace because that was a very, I could not have had a worse Thanksgiving. If not for being around my childhood friends of 15 years, I would have had the intrusive thought of wanting to punch a hole in my friend's apartment's wall. Josh, I love you, and he's an A&M fan himself, so I'm sure he was thinking about it at least at some point throughout that game. But saying that to say, it still isn't a guarantee. So give me one Texas A&M football national championship, and I can sit happy for the rest of my life.
All right.
What I can't really sit around for is the Baltimore Ravens, because this past year, as we talked about, a made Tyler Loop field goal.
Yeah,
we could have seen the Ravens in the Super Bowl, but it's been weeks since the NFL season's been over, and we can have some NFL talk here in the next couple of weeks. Talk a little bit about the Chiefs and what they're able to do as well, structurally. I'll wait out for Lamar Jackson to figure it out, especially with Jesse Minter in the mix. I think next year, not to sound like, no disrespect, not to sound like the Cowboys fans, I think next year could be the year for the Ravens. So at the very least, win the AFC. At the very least, win the AFC. Pat's still not going to be out there. I'm still not a Buffalo Bills believer. I just don't believe that the Patriots can make it back immediately after what Drake May and company were able to do this past season. Give me the Baltimore Ravens. They can figure it out, and they'll be just fine.
All right.
Similar point, this very season, there aren't too many teams. Like, actually, matter of fact, there's not a head and shoulders best team in all of college basketball.
Yeah.
So with that said, and with according to the ESPN Basketball Power Index, technically there isn't a team that's been better than the Duke Blue Devils this season, if we're going off of BPI.
All right.
I think they can figure it out, simply put.
You can just hang on to Duke. I mean, Duke's blue blood regardless.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
You can hang on
for
sure.
Yeah.
All right, for me, I'm going to start with, it's pretty easy.
The Texas Rangers.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Actually, I think that will be one of them. Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
Just give me the championship next year.
Yep.
Because I'm willing to take the bet of they don't win the Super Bowl in my lifetime, and just like I think I've said before, give the winnings to my family as I pass away. Put them in the will. Give them the winnings there. Give me the championship next year, please. I just want to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ever going to see it, because the Joneses are just going to keep.
and see, I do believe, and I'm sure it's been talked about at some point, in the event that Dallas does win that championship, I think the entire regime is like, you know what? We said what we were able to do. It's been 3 decades. We can sit back. Hey, whoever wants to come in, hey, Michael Irvin, you want steak? Have a blast. This is yours now because we did what we said we were going to do. Now let's have someone else who is going to be more involved in the makings of this. I think that's that last dragon for Jerry Jones that I'm just not sure he's able to catch.
Mm-hmm. The other team I'll list, Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
And I am a fan. You can check my for those that have just started watching, you can check my socials. I got receipts. I've been a fan for a long time. I mean, that's an obvious answer. I'm going to just sit and ride it out. No need to beg for a championship next year. I already got one last year. Just going to ride that one out. That's pretty easy. I mean, I think they could win in the next 10 years. I bet they could win another 2 or 3.
But before they were starting to settle into the season, did you believe that they were going to beat the Warriors' 73-win record? Because that was a talking point first month of the year.
At one point in time, kind of when they were like, what was it? They were like 23, 24-1.
Yeah.
I think I was kind of like, okay. Then the San Antonio Spurs happened. And I was like, never mind. Never mind. I'm good. I'm good. I thought there was a little hope maybe, but then like guys started getting hurt and the Spurs and all that. And I was like, they lost too many games against the Spurs in that little span right there. I was like, never mind. I will say the Texas Rangers.
Okay.
And I will say I'll ride it out as well, because I'm excited about their lineup. Their lineup ended up being kind of tough last year, even though coming in we thought the pitching staff was going to be rough, but instead our lineup was tough and our pitching staff was great.
A weird inverse of fortune from that championship run a couple of years ago as well.
Exactly. And it was kind of felt like, are we actually in the World Series? And they won it. I was like, great, I'll take it. Didn't really feel like it, but for whatever reason, it just kind of felt like this is weird. How did we make it? We still won. But pitching, we added Mackenzie Gore.
Great pickup.
who, by the way, used to be a sod poodle. Shout
Nice.
out.
Yeah.
He's here for a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
and Clinton, and when Zach Martin was here, they got some highlights of him. So I mean,
That's
we
nice.
had some video of him, which is
really
pretty cool.
That's really cool.
But I think the lineup figures it out. The pitching staff is just suddenly like so good. I'll ride out the Rangers. I think I'll do that. I think I will do that. And you know, that might be a crazy statement with where the Dodgers are right now, but I think it's going to take a little time. I think it'll take a little time, but I think eventually, like, who knows?
I think if the Rangers, like the Rangers lock in the way that I think they're capable of locking in, I think they are easily winning that division again.
Yep.
And from there, I mean, it's more of a toss up than people would like to let on as far as the top teams in the American League. So I think that's very much in the cards. If I may throw in one more, and yes, we're not going to see him on the course ever again. I would love to see one more Tiger Woods.
Yes,
major.
actually, because then he would be the all-time wins leader. He's at 82 with Sam Snead. I just need that one more, man. I just need one more, please, just so he could stand alone all time. Because 83 victories is insane.
Could be one of those records that actually will never be topped.
I say it to my dad all the time. Also, the Sam Snead record is against guys that are not Colin Morikawa.
Couple of plumbers.
Not Scotty Scheffler. Plumbers and electricians. Thank you. I always say that. Plumbers and electricians.
Right.
Not the Victor Hovlands of the world. Not the I mean, help me out. Chris Goddard's having a great run right now.
For sure.
Anybody. It's definitely not that. It wasn't that. So for Tiger Woods to get to that point against the competition he was against, crazy. Insane.
Definitely.
So the fact that he just needs one more win to break that all-time record, crazy. He won't break Jack's record of majors, obviously, but still, all-time wins is like, whew, that's crazy.
Yeah, that'll be there.
I would like another win from Tiger Woods. I do like that. And I like the dry fit last week as well. That was good.
I have one. I have a red, like, it doesn't have the collar, but I have like a red dry fit back in my house.
You gonna step on the course?
Man, if my golf skills are anything like my bowling skills, I need at least another 3 months.
Well, some lessons, right?
But I can do it. Like don't think I'm gonna back down from the challenge.
Yeah.
I just don't want to embarrass myself.
That's a lot of us dudes, right? We're like, I don't want to embarrass. Let me go practice by myself.
And we got some great courses around here for it as well. I mean, we got the Hockey Net coming up here as well around the area.
Got my hat and everything. Ready to go, man. I love it.
It's gonna be fun.
Can't wait for the Corn Ferry Tour coming here to Amarillo in the summer. So, but we can talk about that too. Maybe we can get somebody on the show as well for that.
Yeah, I think I know a guy.
Let's do that. Yeah, I love it. All right. Great show today. Good stuff,
sir.
Alan.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you guys for tuning in as well. Our 6th episode, man. We're going strong. Let's get to 10, man. Let's do it. We're going to do it. 20, 30, 40, all of it, man.
Ideally, got some plans.
Yeah.
Got some things in place here. Springtime, summertime.
Try to get some people on Zoom. Let's do that. Let's see what we can do, man. I'm excited, man. We got some big plans. But anyway, we're way out of time for sure. Hey, but man, we got so much to talk about. It's always great. You can always hear us and check on my high plains and everything. Check on our socials. But thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. We'll be back next week.